Hello, welcome to the Soul Speak series, The Road to Self. The road to self is about you. It's about your authentic self, finding the truth that's within and living in the truth that you find. I'm so excited about this series. I'm even more excited that we get to do it together. My motto is, let's grow together. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to do what I call power up. Power up is to recognize that we are already truly empowered by the breath of life, and we want to take a moment to appreciate God for that which He's given us. So, if you would, join me, breathe in, breathe out. One more time. This time, feel the power go through your body. Feel your breath, because it really is your power. Breathe in, breathe out. That's your power. We are all set to do what we need to do to make whatever changes we need to make in our lives to reach the destination of self. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about where we are headed. We are headed to our divine self. We are headed to greatness. We are headed to the power that is within, learning how to utilize it and to connect with it. We are headed to the God person that is within, not the man-made person, but the God-made person, that person that is divine, or that divine self. That's where we're headed. We want to live in that and not live in all of the things that are outside of ourselves that keep us, in confusion and hurt and pain. You see, we are our problem and our solution. We have the power to make the changes that we need, but it starts with truth. It starts with telling the truth. What is the truth about you? Or the truth that you know about you? You see, there is a lot that we know that we're doing that's not right. We know the truth, but we act out in opposition to that truth for a number of reasons. Sometimes it's in defense to the fear that we feel on the inside of us. Sometimes it's because we feel, jealousy or anger or envy or, all of this nonsense. And so we act out as a result of the emotional things that we go through. And a lot of it comes simply because of the outside influences that we have conformed to. We have conformed to, people and systems telling us who we are, what we should be like. And the thing is, it doesn't line up with that divine self, that truth that is within you. And so we're not comfortable. We feel like there's something missing in life. How many times have you said that there's got to be more to life than what I'm dealing with? I know I've said it many times. And there is something more. And that something is your divine self. That something is the greatness that God has already purposed for you to be, that you're not living in, that we are not living in. The outside influence is like a stack of bricks, that have built this wall in front of what we truly are. And what we truly are is waiting on us. Love, peace, and joy is waiting on us. Greatness is waiting on us. Our divine self is. But we're not living in that. We're living in this superficial stuff that has infiltrated our lives. There's no way that you're going to be truly happy with that. So it's time for us to start taking down those bricks one by one so that greatness can come through. Love, peace, and joy can come through. We can live in that which was purposed for us to live in. So we have to deal with our imperfections. It's not, it's no time for feeling guilty or ashamed or any of that about our mistakes. Even if you're in a position right now that you know that you shouldn't be in, let me tell you something. No matter where you find yourself, we are still what God has made us to be. You are still greatness, you are still divine, and you are still empowered. So there's no time for this, I'm not good enough, I this, I that. That's not important. What's important is that we begin to tear down these things that are standing in the way of who we really are. And we are empowered to do it. We've talked about that. The power is simply the fact that you breathe, the breath of life. Because without the breath of life, what could you do? This is the power that you need to move forward. But let's begin with acknowledging the truth in our lives. Acknowledge one thing that you could do to make a change that you know is not right. I get it that there's things that we don't know about ourselves yet, or it hasn't come to the forefront. But there's a lot that we do know. We know when we're wrong. You know that what you might have done to someone is wrong. And you know you should apologize. But it's pride, that won't allow you to do it. But it's still wrong, and you know it. Start with that. Start with the simple task of maybe apologizing to someone that you've wronged. Don't worry about who's wronged you. We're not talking about anybody else now. We're talking about you and I. Because we are the ones that want to live in the greatness that we are. We want to come back to our divine self, connect with our God self in relationship with God. We're the ones that want to do that. So everybody else is not important. Who's important is you. Who has to make the changes is you and I. So let's begin with something. This is your homework. No, it's not homework, but begin with something that you know. If you want to actually face it, write it in the comment section. I mean, we're not talking about details. We're just talking about something that you know that you could do to make a change, to take one of those bricks out that wall. We're going to bust through this wall. Write it, go ahead, write it in the comment section. Face it. Deal with it. Remove it. We're ready to do this. We're ready to go. We are empowered to do it. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and subscribe. This is, let me say this. Hang in there. Hang in with this series. I mean, I feel that this is really going to take us someplace. So let's start with that today. Let's start with, we'll give it a name. Let's start with apologizing. If you owe someone an apology, or whatever it is that you know that you need to do. But I just wanted to kind of give you some information about where we're headed in this series, The Road to Self.